I just happened to look behind me, and at 40 yards, Dave is walking down it, heading directly towards me. I draw back, and I remember telling you though that like I gave him that Matt.
Yeah.
I had a cold, and I got like a
in the camera. Stop, please.
I'm calling the school. Like, I don't know how to pull my daughter out of school. This is her first year in preschool. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, don't get me wrong. I love hunting. I'll always love hunting, and I will always appreciate every moment in the woods. But there's so much better things in life that you can consume your time with and that are more important.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Yes, I am so excited to start talking to Lee and hear this story. So I'm fired up, and I have something in front of me that makes me very happy. And I know it makes you extremely happy. So praise God that he is here.
Dave is here. Dave has joined us for this podcast.
Do we just get to hold Dave the whole time? Do you got to put a hand on
one
Dave?
hand right here where his mask is right here? Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's like it's funny. I knew I'm gonna say I knew I was gonna kill him, but I also like had so many doubts that I wasn't going to.
Sure.
And I guess that's like we'll reflect on this episode, kind of my headspace with it, but like afterwards, I mean, it's when you go through a roller coaster of emotions with one deer for so long, and then it's done. Yeah. So I'll get to that. Lows. Yes. And honestly, I mean, I'll just get into it now. I think the funny thing about after I shot Dave, and we'll see the footage through this episode. So one thing to note, if you guys are listening to this episode, not that I would ever recommend watching an episode while driving.
No, not while driving, but don't miss like seeing our beautiful faces. Come on now.
But we're gonna pull up the actual footage from Dave. So like we're gonna sit there and I'm gonna show you. You haven't seen this yet.
I have not seen this. I have not. So, really, realistically, till today, I really got one quasi picture of Dave while I was driving.
Yeah.
And I said, "You got to send me another picture." He's like, "I don't have one."
I didn't have one.
and then all I get is this morning we get Dave's dead here. So this is super cool. So
and he's half clean. I can
smell.
I boiled his head last night.
I can smell him, and it's delicious, and I love it, and it's great. But it is really good that he is here with us for this episode.
Yeah,
so it's super cool. So where do you want to? I think we need like. The listeners that have listened,
Day one.
They know what's up. They knew you're after Dave. You know why I know that they're after Dave?
Because your wife knows.
Because I said, Lee got his buck. She goes, he got Dave? And I was like, oh, my goodness. You got to be kidding me. You know who Dave is? And she's like, yeah, I know Dave is. And I was like, all right.
It's been an obsession of mine for 2 years.
It's awesome. It's good. So, all right. Tell us a story. Let's go from day one of where you want to start.
Yeah, day one was last year, 2024, 2025 season. Put cameras out earlier than I've ever put. I got permission to hunt a new farm.
Okay.
It's then the farm that I grew up next to my whole life. The guy was great about letting me like rabbit hunting, like the early stages of my hunting development.
Yeah.
All started right here.
Okay.
So it's a very special farm to me. I was not able to hunt it for many, many years, and I've always wanted to.
Okay.
And I was supposed to have access to it 2 years ago. Long story short, I guess there was a miscommunication between myself and the landowner. He ended up giving full access, hunting rights, and farming rights to another gentleman that came in.
Gotcha.
Kind of slid underneath me a little bit. I was pretty bummed about it because again, like it's been like it's the farm that you drive by, and you just wish, like you just wish you could hunt it, you wish you could own it. You just see the potential, like all the possibilities. Like I love this piece of property. Like it is 100%. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would go to that farmer and say like this, let's do this. But so I lost access 2 years ago. And then last summer, or 2 summers ago, there was a big windstorm, and it blew a gigantic tree down in this landowner's yard right next to his house. And so my dad calls me. He's like, "Hey, I'll leave the guy's name out, but landowner has a tree down. You think you can help him out?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I called the guy. Really, like a really good dude, just old farmer. His wife just unfortunately at that time passed away. And I was just going there to show some love and help him out. So I went there, removed the tree. I mean, it's a big tree, like big tree. Mm-hmm. So spent the entire day. My dad came over and helped me. We got it up, got it all cleaned up for him, and he was just beyond thankful. And he goes, "If you want to hunt the property, it's yours." I was like, oh. And I won't lie, half of me
was hoping.
Oh man,
always.
Like when I was there going with a chain, I was sharpening my chainsaw. I mean, like, man, if I do a good job here, like it could open up some possibilities. Truly, with the I had the right intentions, but there's always a possibility of like this could work out.
Yeah,
and it did. He was grateful. He basically said, "You can hunt that property." So fast forward to, I probably the next day is probably when I started putting cameras out on this property. I'm a big believer in. It's 120 acres, so like I knew it was going to take some time to figure out how the deer were using the property. But I bet it was July when I put cameras out, earlier than I've ever done before, and one of the first deer, like instantly, was this big 8-point.
But you've neighbored to this property, right?
My whole life.
But you didn't know this deer never showed up.
I should know. I think I just wouldn't know. As a
3-year-old, you didn't notice him.
If it's a deer, I would have to really go back and look at the pictures and look. But I think I do know what that deer was, but it wasn't like a target of mine.
Sure.
So my dad's property, which 20 acres at a time, it has now turned into 40. It was the previous year, before I had access to the neighbor's farm, there was one other big deer that showed up on camera. And so I was very focused on that.
Sure.
Ended up hitting that deer. To this date, that was the biggest deer that's ever stepped foot or I've gotten on picture on that property. Hit that deer high, no zone. That deer disappeared, showed up on camera like November 12th and never to be seen again. Didn't hear of anybody shooting it, just gone.
Okay. So maybe we knew Dave from the previous year, but just didn't. Clearly, like this, no offense to Dave, but at a 3.5-year-old, this deer could have been like one of the ones overlooked because you were hunting a bigger deer.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes.
So we got access to the farm. We're super excited. We're in there. You hung cameras early, and
it was nonstop Dave all summer. I mean, I was, again, like I look back on reflecting on that first year, my access to the property. I was very intrusive on that property, way too intrusive. But like, if I didn't get pictures of Dave in like, let's say I went 4 or 5 days without getting a picture of him, I would go and move a camera. It was aggressive. I was excited. I was very excited about it. And I just wanted to go into the season. For one, I had a goal of like shooting like an early season deer. I've never been good at that. Never been successful at like, let's say the first couple of weeks of October. Like I really wanted to like dial him down and figure him out. But as a 4-year-old, tough to do. He was, fast forward to like leading up to season, he was daylighting on like, the perfect weather fronts and all that. And like, I felt pretty confident. But yeah, I was just overall very intrusive with him. So had him pretty figured out. Like by the time season came and rolled around, if he moved, there was a good chance I was getting a picture of him. And I think this is something funny to reflect on too. I truly think how intrusive I was throughout leading up to season and kind of the beginning of season. Mm-hmm. He instantly established trail cameras on a tree to me and danger. Like early season, beginning of the season, he would walk by a trail camera. Sometimes they would make that little clicking noise when they go off. Sure. And you're like, oh,
yeah.
And he didn't care. But by the time I started like putting a little pressure on him, I've never seen a deer be so afraid and aware of trail cameras in my life. If I moved a trail camera, I'd get a picture of them or a video of them like within a day or two, and then never again on that trail camera. So,
well, I mean, there's tons, and like we'll have to do an episode on trail cameras and get some trail camera people in here. But I mean, batteries leach, they make a smell. Like, people don't even talk about that. Video mode, I've just never been a big fan of it because there's a click and there's a sound that's running. Typically there's a lot of things that we can't hear, but they can, and that's why it tends, so. But again, we can get into that. So
yeah, but I truly think though, like, something definitely had to, like, I agree with all those, but like, I do think how much I was going in there and like adjusting cameras and moving cameras just so I could get that satisfaction of getting a picture of them.
Yeah.
It made him even more leery of trail cameras.
It's surprising. Like, most of the time they're going to bug out.
Yes.
Like the fact that he didn't bug out.
Yeah. So I want to say I never put a trail camera in his like bedroom. He had a very tight core area. It was basically narrowed down to 2 spots on the farm. He was either there or here. I stayed away from going into that, but like as soon as he left his core area, I got a picture of him, or I felt like I needed to get a picture of him to try to figure him out, but he never had a pattern. So like, yeah, so that was going into last year. Let's see, I did not have an encounter with him until October. It was right before Halloween. I want to say it's October 20 or 21. I was in the stand, and perfect morning, like picture perfect morning. He came strolling by me like 9 o'clock. I went in with a saddle that morning, went in the dark, completely blind, never hunted this area because I was waiting for the right conditions to get into this spot. Finally had the right conditions, moved into this spot. And one thing about when you go in blind with a saddle, it's not like I'm going around and trying to pick the perfect tree in the dark. You're just like, I can get it in this tree, and I think that there's a shooting lane this way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big headlamp guy, so like I'm not shining a headlamp around to see if I can shoot. So I climbed a tree, loved the spot. It was the perfect spot. He walked by at 20, 25 yards, and I didn't have a single shooting lane. I had just held on to my bow, and I kept like glancing in front of him, like, where am I going to shoot? Where am I going to shoot? When do I draw? And there was just never that spot that I looked and be like, I can get an arrow here.
Nothing. No chance.
So that was like October 20th time frame. After that, obviously I got super excited. Thought that like I was in the chips, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember why I wasn't. Maybe I was going to plan on going hunting that night, but midday, I got a trail camera photo of the neighbor's son going into like his core area midday with a chainsaw on a big tractor. He was going and he was trimming lanes, getting ready for gun season. So that was one of the agreements that I had with the landowner is bow hunt access, family gun hunts it. So I obviously did not have a good feeling about that. So he was gone. I assumed he was gone. I don't even know I don't remember if I hunted that night or not. Next morning rolls around. I should pull up the actual text to see what the dates were, but the next morning rolls around. I'm like, we had a completely new wind. I'm pretty sure where I was sitting, it had to have been an east wind.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to completely change my strategy going after him. I couldn't come close to where I had an encounter with him the day before. And the way that timber is, like, if he's using the wind at all, he wouldn't have been over there anyways. So sitting in the spot, again, like frosty, crispy morning, like what you dream of. And the whole time I'm thinking like, this is the morning. Like, I came close yesterday. He's not getting by me again. Probably 8:30, I got a text from the guy who had permission to hunt my dad's neighboring property. So where I was hunting Dave was in this little, it's a 10 to 15 acre section of timber. And then it goes to my dad's piece. It's a 20. And then the other side of that is where this guy had permission to hunt. He has been great with me the whole time. He's gotten pictures of him earlier in the season. When it comes to a neighbor that you want, he's that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not like hiding stuff from you. He's very open, very respectful. He didn't hunt our board. Like we've had people on that property before that like hunt the line, like
constantly.
Very respectful. So like I was open with him, sending him pictures like, yep, Dave, like I'm getting close to him, blah, blah, blah. I think this time he wasn't named Dave. I don't know if we had it. We just called him the Big 8. But back to that morning, my phone vibrates, he texts me, I hit him. I hit the Big 8. And I'm not gonna lie, I was
sick.
I wanted to vomit. I'm like, man, like I knew it. Like,
oh yeah,
he got bumped out. It makes sense that he went that way. That was kind of like if he left this property, that's where he would go to check those. So he hit him. I was like, what do we got? He's like, it's not a good shot. I was like, that's really unfortunate. Like, I mean, I truly was if anybody around there shot this deer, like I truly would be happy for him. Just out of respect that he showed myself and my family. But like, and then he said like, it wasn't a good shot. And it's like, okay, like now we're at the spot of like, is he going to run off and die? We're never going to know about it. Or is it like not a good shot that a couple of days, hopefully he comes right back to his core area. So fast forward, tracking, I was obviously just blowing his phone up, like what he got. He's like, I'm backing out. So he backs out, goes in later that evening, and nothing. Couldn't find him, nothing. So I'm like, okay, like now you're just in the limbo space of like the deer that I was hunting all season, dedicated the entire season to. I don't know if he's alive, if he's ever going to return. Don't know. It had to have been, man, it was a solid week to maybe 2 weeks before I got a picture of him again on trail camera, but he was right back to where he belongs. So I was like, thank goodness. You could see he had a little bit of a limp. It was a high shoulder shot. Yeah. He had a little bit of a limp on him. I should say it was like high shoulder, kind of like high front shoulder. But he was like, he was going to make it. So that puts us kind of like the November time frame. I don't think like I don't know. I just don't know if he daylighted at all after that. Yeah. He was pretty hunkered down.
Ghost buck.
He turned into a ghost. I actually put a trail camera out for the landowner. He went and talked to him one day. He's like, hey, my family got me this trail camera. You mind setting this up for me? Like, yeah, no problem. I was like, oh, this actually looks like a good spot that I'm curious. Like, I wish I would have a trail camera here. So I put it up there. Instantly, he gets a picture of him. So he's like, he texts me, have you seen this buck? And like, this thing is huge. I'm like, yeah. It's the one I've been after. Yeah. And this was the day before gun season.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Now they're all getting, now he did.
Now he's dead. He's just, I mean, yeah. But basically, that was, Dave Point made it through gun season. No one that I know of ever saw him. Mm-hmm. Just turned into an absolute ghost. Did what a 4-year-old Michigan deer does, and just turned super smart. I feel like am I rambling, going on too far? Or,
no, just jump into this year.
So we go into this year.
Yeah.
Let's see. I actually made myself hold off a lot. I reflected a lot on how I approached him last year, and I was like, this deer is a year older, a year smarter.
Got hit, survived.
Got hit, survived. Like, if he's around, I just need a whole new, like, mindset and approach to this deer. So for one, I was like, I'm not hanging trail cameras as early. For one, it just gets me too excited. I start
making bad decisions.
Oh, I start getting like, I don't want to say I'm not stressing about it, but like it comes to my mind.
Obsessive.
Yes. That's a perfect word. I become obsessive with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't leave my mind.
Yeah.
So I held off till I think August, till I put cameras out. And looking back, like he wasn't there. Wasn't getting pictures of him. I had my cameras completely backed off. So like I wasn't worried about not getting pictures of him because I completely backed off my cameras. Like I had half the amount of cameras out and put them in very unintrusive places where when I hung them, it was like I hung them as to how I wanted to hunt him. It's like, I can hunt this spot, so I'm going to see if he's using this spot. Like I totally approached the whole mindset of like, where I'm going to put my cameras are only spots that I think I can access and smartly hunt this deer.
Yeah, get in and out, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I remember you saying that, one of the pictures you showed me, he was looking at the camera and you're like, oh, I got to move this camera and don't like it.
Yeah, so I put a food plot in this year that butts right up to like what his core area was last year, specifically for him. I'm like, I'm only going to hunt this food plot when this deer starts daylighting it. Like this whole food plot is for him.
Yeah.
And he loved it a lot in the beginning. That's right. So I was getting him before season.
Yeah.
Food plot started growing up. Things are nice and green and new, high nutrients. And he started coming in the morning. And then I showed you that video of him looking at the camera and running away.
Yeah.
He literally... It's not funny.
It is kind of funny because he's dead.
I know.
So it's fine now to laugh.
Yeah. So I went through this whole, like, I'm like, it's a food plot. Like, I thought that I had it backed off the food plot a little bit, like kind of unintrusive to the food plot, the deer eating.
He looked right at it.
He looked right at it.
He didn't like it.
I'm saying, like,
he did a head bob look. Peace. I'm out. Not happening.
Yep. He did it. He came back one more time after that into that food plot. And this time he hated it even more. Mm-hmm. And then I went weeks. No, that's when you and I talked, and I was like, I just need to get that camera out of there. Mm-hmm. If I want him to use this food plot, it just has to be gone. So what I did is I took that camera, hung it way up high in the tree. Like there's like two main trails that go into the food plot, and pointed at one of the trails that, like, if he continues to use the food plot, he'll walk past this. And like I'm saying, I took 2 sticks up into the tree to hang this camera. So it was a solid 10 foot up into the tree, and bought a solar panel. So I never would have to go in there and change batteries or anything. I didn't want to walk across that food plot at all. And then he started, I would say, man, it was probably mid-October, he started using the food plot again, but never. I think I only got one daylight picture of him in the food plot. Again, he could have used it way more, but where that camera was, I wasn't really observing the food plot.
Right.
It was actually, I'll give a plug to, this is my first year ever planting Milo, red Milo in a food plot, and once that stuff ripened, he loved it.
Everything loved it.
I've seen food plots get hit, and like, when things like reach their peak stage, like the deer come in and crush it. The Milo, they just like, it was. Oh,
I remember wild. You called me. You're like, we're planting all Milo.
I want 7 acres of Milo. I loved it.
It has its advantages, but it does go soft after.
They didn't let it go soft.
Well, they just ate it all.
Yeah, it's like it was a test. It was a test year. I used it to kind of double as like a perimeter soft edge screen. Put a strip through the center of it to kind of divide the two food plots to hopefully stack a little more deer in there. It just gave them as more food and comfort.
Yeah, mixed in there.
Yeah, and definitely did not plan enough because it worked.
Yeah.
They just devoured it within 2 weeks. Yeah. So,
So Chase Dave, you got into him. You saw him the first time when?
I'm trying to think, when is the first time that I saw him?
You saw this deer multiple times. Like it
Well,
wasn't
once-
like you saw him many times.
Once he decided that he was safe on this farm, he was like,
You just run around.
it was a nature preserve.
Yeah.
It was quite wild and impressive and frustrating to see him running around so freely and not scared. I'm trying to think, when was it had to have been.
It was it was early October, dude. It wasn't that late because you saw him. I know because you saw like there was multiple encounters that you had with this deer.
I think it was mid-October.
Yeah.
It had to have been like mid-October. Is before Halloween.
Oh yeah.
My goal was I was thinking like he's gonna become predictable by Halloween time frame. Where like I just gotta find what scrapes he's using, blah blah blah. So I was sitting in the field directly behind the landowner's house. The field drops down into a bowl that butts up next to a swamp that he basically turned that swamp inside of the timber into his number one like core bedding area. And I knew that because I had like cameras kind of positioned again, like they're all like 10 foot in the sky. I was getting him almost every single day on camera, if not twice a day. I knew which direction he was heading, but that was the problem is like, I thought having this much intel on a deer that I would figure out a pattern of his. Zero pattern. I can reflect on like how many times I've gotten pictures of him. I've gone through the pictures and like, what was his pattern? Like, did I miss something? And this deer just like, he just did. It's probably, he's a 5-year-old in Michigan. So he knows the game and knows how. He's obviously made it 5 years of avoiding hunters.
Yeah.
So I'm sure what he did, there was a method to his madness, but my goodness, it was madness.
Yeah.
So it's probably, it was mid-October when I had that first encounter with him. I was sitting in the field. He came out in the field, started bumping some does around. I was on the ground and, he was probably like 80 yards from me all night. So I came here the next day and we talked and I was like,
you flipped it. You're going to that bush, right?
No, I was in the bush.
You were in the bush.
I was in the bush.
Saw him.
And then he popped out next to a big scrape. There was one tree there like I could easily get into with my saddle, like plenty of cover in the field. It'd be a 20-yard chip chop. So I remember the next day was like exact same conditions, same wind.
Going to the bush.
So I'm like, I'm going to the tree right where he came out last night. Like tonight is the night. And I sat there the next day and I watched him literally pee and rub the bush that I was tucked up in the night before. It's just like, I could not win. And that's when it just started getting frustrating. From there, it was almost every single sit.
Yeah.
I would see Dave in some way, or I would be sitting and get a picture of him daylighting on a different section of the farm.
Yeah.
Every day.
When do we get to see this footage?
Yeah, I know we're getting there. So that brings me to my first time I ever drew back on Dave, was in the cornfield. Neighbors cut the corn. This is probably a week after those back-to-back encounters. Neighbors cut the corn, or not the neighbors, the guy renting the field cut the corn. And I was like, I know deer are just going to pile into that. He's going to follow the doe. Actually, that morning, the neighbor called me. The landowner called me. I was sitting there at my desk editing. He calls me. He's like, Lee, you will not believe the deer that is like chasing does around my house. He's so big. he's so fat that he can't even chase does right now. That's just the biggest deer I've ever seen. I'm like, I know, I'm getting pictures of him right now. And he's like, he's running. He's heading straight west. I was like, okay, I think I know where he's going. He said he went with a doe. So I'm like, he's going to hunker down with that doe. If that doe moves, she's going to go to the fresh cut cornfield. I'm going to be right in between them. So that night I'm in the cornfield. It's like the way, it's funny when I look back and reflect on how it can take like a little bit to learn a farm. It's a spot that I'd never hunted my first year. And like when I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is like the heart of the entire property here. Like if anything is moving between swamp and timber and ag field, it all comes down to this spot right here. And like perfect access to it. Like everything about it is good. I'm like, why haven't I hunted here before?
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So, sitting there and, I remember there's a buck behind me. It was like a 6 point or something. He's just chilling in the corn at like 40 yards eating. And I'm like just honed in on the direction where I think Dave is going to be coming from. A couple deer come from that direction. All of a sudden I see a doe. I'm like, yes, Dave's behind her. Nothing. I'm like, man, like this, like it's not getting late. It's not even like prime time yet. And I'm getting a little nervous. I'm like, this is about the time that Dave starts walking around the farm and I get a picture of him. And I remember I just happened to look behind me, and the buck that was behind me was like just bearing a hole down back towards the timber, the complete opposite way of which I was facing and expecting Dave to come from. So I like look over there and I glance back down the fence row that I'm in, and I see these antlers like kind of doing like that happy trot like towards me. And I was like, oh, okay, like it's a buck. I was looking at it and it's like through the trees. So like, I can't really see how big it is at this point. He's like 70 yards from me. And then I'm like, I'll grab my bow. Like, I think it's like, there's this 3-year-old 8 point that's just running around. See him quite a bit. I think it's him, but like, I don't know. Honestly, I truly thought it was him. So I don't know why I was like, I'll just grab my bow. So I was going to grab my bow and I happened to look back to see where that deer was at. And then I saw it was Dave. And he's on a barreling heavy trot right to me. I was like, oh no. So I'm in a saddle. I'm facing the tree. When you're in a saddle, maybe other people don't have this problem, but like ideally over your right shoulder is not where you want to shoot. It's a tough angle to get in the saddle. You got to push off the platform or spin around like the tree the other way. I wasn't prepared to take that shot at all. So I swung to my right, realized by the time I get in any sort of position that he's going to be past me already. So I bring my bow back over the tree, swing around over my left shoulder, which is where you want to be in a saddle. It's a very comfortable, like leaning over. I draw back. And I remember telling you though, that like I gave him that mat.
Yeah.
I had a cold and I got up.
Yeah. In the camera. Stop, please. Yeah. That's what you said to him. Please stop. I'm scared to make a noise, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I drew back. He ran through my 30-yard window. I gave him the and he just chases the buck right out of there.
Yeah.
And so like the rest of that night, he chased that buck out, found a couple doe, started chasing them all night long. He's in the field in front of me. I'm watching him at 70 yards, 80 yards, 100 yards the entire night again. So This is like, I'm just boiling at this point. Next encounter, now let's get to the kill here. It was Friday. What was the date on Friday here? Today's the, what is that? What's the tag say there? I was
7th.
The 7th? Okay. So November 7th, rained most of the night. And like it was still kind of like drizzly in the morning.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was in a car.
You were in a car. Where were you heading?
Back to Illinois.
Yeah, back to Illinois. So like I go in that morning, like Dave is 100. Like I knew Dave was going to be active that morning. and I was actually had a really big battle in my head of like, where do I sit? There's two options. The morning before, I sat directly over the swamp. That was like his main core bedding area. Did not see him. So I was like, man, it's the rut. I should just be picking a spot. The wind's perfect for it. This is like majority of the time that I've saw him or got a picture of him, it's been coming to leaving this swamp. Mm-hmm. But a part of me was like, there was another camera on the very far south end of the property that like I would get him on. He would definitely daylight in front of his camera, but it was like every 4 to 5 to 6, 7 days, like no rhyme or reason. Like he wasn't there on certain winds or anything like that. He was just, that was a section of the farm that he would just randomly go check. So I don't know what it was, but a part of me was like, he hasn't been there in a while. And I feel like I've always been one step behind this deer. So I'm going there. I hunted this spot one time prior in the season, mm-hmm. and I knew it was thick in there. Mm-hmm. It was like, it's thick. And the spot that I got in with my saddle before was like right by the camera. And when I hunted there that night, I was like, man, even if I do see him, I don't know if I'm able to shoot him. Like I can't shoot where my camera is at, where he makes a scrape or peas every time. And like, he literally has to come from this one specific spot, in order for me to shoot him. So like driving there that morning, I was like, I got to find a different tree. This could be bad. This could be really bad, but like, I just got to find a different tree. I had an idea in my head. Like when I was sitting there that one night, I was scanning around, like I can't sit, if I ever come back here, I can't sit in this tree again. Like, and I could see a tree that was only 70 yards from where I was at, and I could see it. I'm like, I think that I would have better shooting opportunities there. It was actually a beech. No, it wasn't. It was a maple that was holding its leaves a little bit longer than all the other ones were. It's like, all right, I got some cover if I get into that tree. So like I basically park at my parking spot on the property, and I was like, I'm going to try that tree. But I was like, this is where it gets a little nerve-wracking. To get there is a very risky approach to a morning sit. Yeah. Like it's November 7, like you got to start taking some risks in the morning. I was really good all year about not hunting mornings. I mean, like I just got to do this smart. Like my wind is good to get to this. I just have to
not blow deer on the
way in. And so I have to walk across this. It's kind of like it's a failed attempt at a hayfield. And deer kind of really stopped using it for like the food source. Where this is at, there's another little section of corn that's standing, and there's a little section of corn that's cut. Like when I say little, it's probably each field is maybe 2 to 3 acres. So I took a very big loop around, probably doubled, maybe tripled the actual distance to the stand that it, like from the way the crow flies. Made a big loop around, came in from like the very far end of the property, or I walked to the very far end of the property, cut over across the field, and then cut directly to where the stand was. So I find the tree right away. I got in nice and clean. Everything was wet, so it's like a very quiet entrance. I felt great about it. The wind was like, perfect. And climb up in the tree, and there's another one of those other spots. Like once I got settled, I was like, man, like this is where I should have hunted last year. Like this just makes so much sense. Yeah. But it's like as it's breaking daylight, I'm like, it is thick in here, real thick. And so like I actually was sitting there, and I had an expandable broadhead on my arrow, and I was like looking around, I'm like, dude, if I get a shot, like I might be shooting through some junk here. Mm-hmm. So I actually pulled a Rec FX4 fixed blade broadhead out and swapped arrows. And I was like, I just feel more confident with the fixed blade in this situation.
Sure.
Obviously, I shot the arrows before going into season. I knew that they fly
good.
Yes. So had all the confidence in it, just never shot a deer with one before. Actually, I don't know if I've ever shot a deer with a fixed blade before.
Yeah.
So,
Really?
let's be honest. Yeah, I haven't.
Okay.
I've been like, I mean, day one was like rage.
How old are you?
How old am I?
I don't know. Like
I'm
day
30,
one.
36. I
I
mean,
mean,
oh,
as
okay.
a
So
kid,
no,
you weren't
no.
shooting like muzzies back
Day
in the
one
day?
was muzzies.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
So
Fixed
I
blade
have
muzzy.
shot deer with a fixed blade. Actually, my first deer ever was a muzzy 3-blade. It's been a long time since I've shot a deer with a fixed blade.
Okay.
Because, I mean, once Rage came out, everyone's like, look at these holes. And I was like, yeah, look at these. So, shot expandable for a long time. Put the fixed blade on my arrow. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's a beautiful morning. It's not like as cold as I want it to be, but like it's like one of those mornings that are just bucky. Mm-hmm. It's like it rained all night. Like they should just be on their feet. This is the day that you drive around at noon because it's like sprinkling, misty, and there's just bucks in the field with does. And it was probably 8. Yeah, it was probably 7:30. And I was sitting there like a group message with my friends. We're talking about our Kansas trip coming up. I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have, but like the group chat was interesting, and I was having a good time with the boys in the group chat. And like I literally just sent the text message because everyone's like super excited going to Kansas. I'm like, I'll be honest, you guys, like I'm
having a hard time thinking I'm going to leave if I haven't killed Dave.
Yes. Like
got it.
Read
your mind.
Yes. We're leaving on November 14, on purpose because I don't have gun permission on this farm. And as active as Dave was, I know he's just going to get laid down opening day. And I just didn't want to hear the gunshot. Just not happy for the person, but happy for the person. And just don't want to be a part of it. I want to be like headspace somewhere else. So I sent the text. I was like, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I'm not excited yet. Like it's a good thing that I'm leaving this deer and get my mind off of it and separating myself from this. I need it for my health, my family's health, but like, I'm truly not like, I don't want to go right now. And I bet it was 5 minutes after I sent that text. I was sitting if you picture a saddle, you can like really sit in it. If you put your knees up against a tree, I was like reclined. I was so comfortable. I think I took a sip of coffee, put my coffee back. I just happened to look behind me. And at 40 yards, the one major, most evident trail that goes through this section of timber, I should say it's not even a timber, it's a swale that goes right to the base of my tree. Dave is walking down it, heading directly towards me. And so I remember pausing, and I saw him, and instantly, obviously, I knew it was him instantly. And I paused, and it was like he was walking so directly towards me. In my head, I thought, can I grab my bow, or do I grab my bow right now? And then like that split second later, I made the decision, like, he's coming towards me. I need to grab my bow now, regardless. Like there's a chance he could see me, but I need to, if this is going to happen, I got to grab my bow. So I grabbed my bow and kind of swing around back to my left, and he's still coming directly towards me, and gets to probably 12, 15 yards. I'm like, okay, we're getting tight. So when I grabbed my bow, I drew back instantly right away, because at that point he was 30 yards, if not closer. Drew back, and he kept walking towards me. I'm like, I'm going to be doing like the whole straight top down shot, maybe jugular shot if he looks up at me. Like, I got to figure this out. This isn't going to be interesting. Not ideal. Definitely not going to have a broadside shot at this deer. So I'm having that internal headspace, and next thing you know, he just veers. It would be to my left, to his right. He just veers at the last second, still coming like towards me, but like veers to his right, goes behind this bush, and stops. And if he takes 3 more steps, I have a wide open shot at him. Again, not broadside. It's gonna be a tight angle. But again, I was praising myself, like, thank goodness I have a fixed blade in here, because if I have to send this thing through the shoulder here, like, here we go. Like, 85-pound Matthews is going to let her rip. And he gets behind this bush. It's a bush, thick bush. Gets behind that, and he stops. I'm still at full draw. He stands there. And then I've never seen a deer do this fast. It's like he found exactly where he wanted to be. And in one swift motion, he completely turns his body around and lays down. And I was like, oh no. Like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I start shaking, and like I was cool and calm before that, but like next thing you know, like the deer that I've been overly obsessed with is laying down at 7 yards, and I don't have a shot right now. Like, this is like the typical Dave. Like, he's gonna get away again. And so like I'm still at full draw, and he's laying there. I'm like, I can't hold this. Like, at this point, I bet I was way over 2 minutes of full draw. And so I'm like, I gotta let down. Like, I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah.
I can hear my phone vibrate on my backpack. I'm like, I'm not gonna I'm shutting the world out.
Yeah.
No one's gonna hear from me, because I'm gonna be quarter draw for the rest of the day. I'm gonna be like tension on the string, ready for things to develop. So I let down. He's cool. He's calm. And that's when I can click the GoPro on my head. So let's.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So let's get into some actual footage here. I'll pull this up on the screen. Again, if you guys are listening to this is where maybe pause, switch over to YouTube, and watch this roller coaster of events that take place now. Okay. So again, this is, he's probably been laying there for 3 minutes before I was like, oh, my GoPro's strapped to my head right now. I should turn this on. And he's laying there facing away. Okay, so right here is where he's, see right there he is. Again, 7 yards. Laying, facing directly away from me. And so right now the wind is kind of like my right shoulder, and it's cutting just off of his butt. Like, just off of his butt. And he's just like, the whole time he's laying there facing away from me. And I'm like, man, I'm going to be here for a minute.
Yeah. I'll be here all day.
Yeah. Like, my guess is like, right now in my head, I'm thinking like, he's going to move. He'll get up and like reposition himself probably around 11, 12 o'clock. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to be able to move until then. He's 7 yards. Laying down. All he has to do is peek out of the right corner of his eye, and he can see me like hanging. So then here, all right, I'll pause this, and I'll kind of try to talk through this as this develops, so people just listening can know what's happening.
He just stood up.
So I was sitting there. All of a sudden I felt the wind ever so slightly just come a little bit more out of the south than it was, because
he got up abruptly.
He caught, I think, just enough. And so actually before I turned, I think I clicked my GoPro on and instantly like tilted the ozonics to like full bore in my face. I want all of it. I want all of that, whatever's coming out of an ozonics. It's literally just baptizing me.
Yeah.
Yes. So
click, just hit play.
I gotta make sure I'm explaining this for the guys that are only listening.
Just start watching so I can watch.
Okay, so he stands up. Yep. I just came to full draw again.
Yep.
And he's standing there. And one thing I want to know is, like, if you listen to this, you can hear a lot of background noises. Like, farmer is working in the field, which I think comes into play in a very good way. But right now, he just stood up abruptly, facing away from me still. And I'm like, I let back down. I started shaking. I'm like, he's not going to go anywhere at this second. I let back down.
Yeah.
So we are a minute 27 into the video, so probably 4 minutes into the entire encounter. Yeah.
Which feels like a lifetime.
Oh, my goodness. And do you have no idea the emotions that have already gone through your head within 4 minutes? Yeah. So I let back down, and
did you are your drawers soiled at this point? Did you poop or you?
So I actually think at this point I'm like, Lee, get your shit together
here. Get your poop
here,
in a group here.
and like let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Calm down. You
right
have
here.
time. He's right here. But if you look around, like
there's nowhere. You can't.
It's so thick in there.
You might want to use some chainsaw.
So I'm like in my stand now that he's standing up. I'm like kind of like shifting to my platform. Like, is there a window
Looking
in
for
here?
shots,
Like,
yeah.
is there? Can I sneak this in? Like 7 yards, I can thread the needle. I feel real confident in hitting the spot that I'm aiming at. But there's nothing. That is like just the perfect bush that's covering his body.
You can't even see the deer.
Yes.
Like, right, and if he doesn't move, you can't see him, and he's
Right.
at 7 yards.
Yeah. So he stands there, and then there's a big change of events that happens here real soon.
Jeez. This is like the heart pounding.
So but you can see the bow shaking a little bit still. So I haven't got my stuff together completely yet. I do say eventually through this, I do gather myself. But next thing that happens is he's going to completely turn around and face me again. Let's see if I can. Okay. So you can tell, like, he caught my wind.
He didn't know what it was.
He didn't know what it was. He's
didn't
nervous.
like it.
He's looking around.
He doesn't know where it is. Obviously, the ozonics is doing its job where this deer thinks you're 150 yards out or whatever.
Yes.
Doesn't know he's got death 7 yards dangling
yards
above him.
Yes. At this point, I remember, like, I was so far pushed off of my platform. Like, my right foot was, like, pushing off the platform so much that I was like, I need to check. I had to actually look down the platform a second and be like, am I safe here? Are we still good? I was. So let's see here. We're 4 minutes into me clicking on the GoPro. Man, I could have swore it was longer than 4 minutes. So I'll fast forward through this a little bit. That's where I just checked my boot situation on the ground or on the platform. Okay, so now
You're 6 minutes or 5.5. 6 minutes in.
Just scrubbed to 6 minutes in, and now he's facing me. See right here?
Yeah.
He's facing me. So he just randomly turned around, took one step, and you see that little window. I have a window of opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
And from my angle, his face is actually like in the window. I'm like, you just need to give me a little bit more here, and we're gonna meet. And he's just standing there and like, dude, you just gotta take 2 steps. And right now I'm at full draw. I'm back at full draw. Once he turned, I thought he was gonna come closer to me, and so I came to full draw. And the next thing you know, he turns back around. Now he's facing away from me again. And so I'm like, dude, I don't know how many times I'm still at full draw. Like, I don't know how many more times I can do this. And as you can see the bow, I'm like getting a wobbly arm here.
Sure.
And so I'm like, I gotta find now I'm like looking, when is it safe to like let down again? I think it's funny when I watched this footage yesterday, when I let down, it was pretty abrupt. Like, you can tell that the shoulder muscles are.
You've been losing some strength there.
So I'm still at full draw.
Yeah.
So still at full draw. You can see the heavy shake in the bow.
7 minutes in.
And still shaking. I'm like, oop, I can let down. Okay. So I let down. So 7 minutes into this now, I've finally been able to let down again.
What is it? That's your 4th draw?
I think that was my 3rd. Or was it my 4th? So
I don't know.
Initial. It's 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4.
At this point, I'm blacked out. I just know.
My arms are jello. Yeah. I'm standing here. I have no clue.
Yes. And so, like, okay, I'm like, all right, what's your move? What are we going to do here?
It's hilarious that he was just at 7 yards.
7 yards. And I'm like, dude, like, at this point, I knew he was going to leave. He doesn't feel safe in his bed. This is not where he's going to spend his time. So I'm like, if he goes hard left right now, he's out of my life again. If he goes straight away from me, he's out of my life again. He needs to go away, or he needs to move right, or come back directly the way that he was facing 2 minutes ago. So Next thing you know, there's a spot that the farmer across the street made a loud noise, and he didn't like that. And so at that point, after that loud noise happened, he's like, I'm committed. I'm moving to another area. So now we are fast forward to 9.5 minutes into it. He's still standing there.
9.5 minutes of a 5.5-year-old deer at 7 yards.
At 7 yards.
Chilling.
And wind is like brushing his butthole right now.
Yeah, he is
like,
right. It's right in his business,
yes.
and you got to deal with it.
I got to deal with it. So 9.5 minutes.
This is a long time in the deer woods to have an encounter.
Yeah. Okay. So 10.5 minutes into it, he starts walking away. Oh. So he's walking away, and at first I was going to draw back. I'm like, no, just wait till you know where he's going. I see his antlers start moving right here. I'm like, okay, I have a window. Get ready, draw back. Deer steps into the window. Heavy cordon away.
Nice though.
Shot. He takes off running. There was a mule kick. Runs into the standing cornfield. And right there, if you saw, he ran through a little gap in the cornfield, and then I didn't see him anymore. So, which all, like, when you watch a video seems nice, but like when I shot, the only thing that I remember is seeing where the arrow went into him. And I was like, oh my goodness, that was so far back on the body.
It looked good to me.
Well, it's far back.
It's ways back. But he's going straight away from you at 15 yards.
That was like, I ranged
12.
it at 25.
Was it really?
It was 25. He did get that far out. He went from 7 to 25 was where he was like kind of crossing in front of me.
Okay.
Which never even crossed my mind when I was in the stand. I'm like, how far is he? I just, I just knew he was still first pin.
Yeah.
So like, but like when you like look at full draw, when you look at the angle that arrow went in,
it's straight up into him.
It's straight up into him. So he runs off, and I'm like, oh no, what did I? Obviously, anytime you shoot a deer, unless you like, most of the time you shoot a deer, you kind of had that second guess that goes through your mind. Like, did I smoke him? Like, what's happening? The only thing I could think of in my head was that arrow went into his body so far back. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking like literally like, I'm like, did I hit his back leg? Like, or his back shoulder?
You almost did.
Almost did.
You're like a centimeter away from catching just hind and not getting into that goods.
Yes. So again, he was heavy quartering away, but like, I'm like, man, like,
I wouldn't even call it quartering. He was going away from me.
It was, if he was walking any more away from me, it would have been a Texas heart shot.
Yeah, it's straight away.
Texas heart shot in the hole. So like at this point, I'm like, dude, like major head games going on right now. Like after I shot, I didn't even get like excited because I instantly got nervous because the only thing I could again imagine is that arrow going in right in front of his back leg. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, please, like, don't do me like this.
Yeah.
Instantly, like, obviously just went to prayer, like, Lord,
please,
I don't want to ask you for this, but you know my heart, and this is what I want.
Yeah.
Please guide that arrow.
Yeah.
Like, and do you know how many prayers I said before when he was standing there, like, this is my shot. Like, you and me, look, God, let's do this.
Yeah.
So he runs away. I gave it like 10 minutes. Instantly text the group, boys, like, I'm like, I'm ready for Kansas now. I think I'm ready. Either way, I do need to leave.
Yeah.
So I'm there again. It's like, it's a little windy, rainy, wet. I'm like, I'm going to run down, grab my arrow or look at my arrow. I just need to know what's going on.
Well, there ain't no arrow down there.
So I climbed down. Actually, this is funny. To be honest with you, I climbed down to the bottom of my tree, looked up. I'm like, this is stupid. This is November 7th. I should at least bring my bow with me. So I climbed back up in the tree, lower my bow down, then climb back down the tree, grab my bow. I'm like, I'm just going to go check my arrow. sneak over there, or I was going to go check where I shot. Go to, again, like Austin, it's funny. Like when you look at this from like my perspective, you're like, it's thick. And when you get down in there,
you can't even see.
It's thick.
Yeah.
It's
I can
so
see
thick
that you can't even walk through there.
Yeah. So there's one trail, like I'm like, this is probably bad if like, I wasn't thinking about any other deer at this point. I'm like, I'm walking down this trail. This is the only way I can get to where he was when I shot him. I get right in line with where he was standing when I shot him and look through the brush. I'm like, oh, my arrow's there. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay. So I see my Luminoc laying there, and like where I'm standing, I look down, I'm like, oh, there's blood here. So I got blood. I'm looking at the blood, and it's like, I mean, it resembles straight liver, like dark red. Like there's a decent amount of it right at impact. And we just talked last week about like shot placement on deer and what to expect when you hit a deer in any location. So I'm thinking, oh no, liver shot. And my mind, my body, my soul is not ready to give him 6 hours.
Well, you had to know it's a liver shot. It had to go through the liver to get to the lungs.
I'll be 100% honest. When I drew back and he stepped in that opening, I had probably, I'm going to say, it was smaller than a basketball size opening.
And you had like 6 seconds. He was going through it.
He was going through it. And I saw his body, and what I just remember picturing, where's his opposite shoulder, line my pin up with that. Actually, no. So I came to full draw, and my peep sight was so twisted on my string. I drew back, and remember, like, as soon as you draw back, you settle into your pin. Yeah. Well, I settled into my anchor points and like looked for my pin, and I couldn't see it. I'm like, what is going on? And I glanced back at it, and my peep sight's like beyond twisted. So I'm like I'm looking through a wall to try to find my pin. So I remember like I instantly settled back into my anchor point, had to like, it was a weird thing. I had to like readjust my eyes to like look through my peep sight and try to find my pin. And at that point, he's standing in the opening. I saw his body lined up the opposite shoulder and shot. So there was no like, he's stepping in this opening, he's quartering hard away, I need to shoot him here to get the right. It was like none of that happened. Yeah. I'll be 100% honest. It was just a basket case of I can't see my pin, found my pin, here's his body, there's a shoulder should be over there, boom, shot. Okay, so I climb down, see the blood, go over to my arrow, and lots of blood and lots of what it looked like liver blood. I'm like, oh no. Like, per our discussion last week, liver shots, they die. It's like, I just got to give them time. So I'm like, okay. So I leave my arrow there, run back up into the tree. I probably did run. And I'm just sitting there. I just start, obviously just texting. I think we were actually in a business conversation via group text. And I just blew out the business all out. And I just said, Dave. I just shot Dave. And so like you go through that, and all of a sudden, like as you're sitting there, I'm like, liver. I'm like, is it liver? Like, then I start reflecting back on what I just looked at. I'm like, did I see guts? Was there guts on the arrow? Like, was it just straight liver? I'm like, no, I didn't see guts. No, maybe I did see guts in the blood. I'm like, this is bad. Like, you are a basket case right now. So I sat there for probably another, I don't know. It felt like 2 more hours. It was probably another 45 minutes. Sure. And I texted Adam, and I was like, when can you be over? He's like, I can be over at 11. I'm like, man, that's so far away. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm just going to sit here. It's November 7. Got 2 tags. Like, if I'll knock another arrow and entertain the idea of like maybe another big buck comes running by me. But I was on my phone the whole time discussing.
Just hanging
like,
out.
Yes.
Just sitting there.
I wasn't hanging out. I was like texting, like I'll text my cousin or I text my dad every time I shoot a deer. Like, this is what happened. He's like, you got to give him time. Like, I know about like how much time, like, did I just ruin this opportunity? Like, all of that is just piling through my head now. And so I'm trying to watch the footage on the GoPro, but you're just looking at that tiny screen. I couldn't even like see where he was standing. Like, this is not good. So I texted my wife and said, Dave. And I'm pretty sure her response was, he better be down. I'm like, oh, of course he would say that. I'm like, I don't know if he's down. Like, I hit him. I don't know if he's down.
I love your
But
wife.
yeah.
Just puts it right to you.
Right.
If he ain't down, I'm packing.
Yeah, don't come home.
Don't come home.
Actually, get home now and you're done hunting forever.
Yeah, just pack your things.
Yes. So I'm like, I was in a clear headspace the first time I looked at the arrow. I need to go at least go take pictures of the arrow and stuff before I leave so I can like actually reflect on it. So I pack up all my stuff, get down, sneak over to the arrow, take pictures of it. And then I was looking at him like I was watching down the lane that he ran. And I'm like, I can see as far as I can notice and pick up blood, I can see blood. So I'm like, he's going to bleed. This is good. I just got myself got out of there. Went to my dad's house right down the road. I texted Adam like, bring a computer and a mini SD card reader. I need to watch this footage. So he finally gets there. We pull up the footage. We pulled it up into editing software where I can like go play second by second. We watch that arrow. I'm like, I think it's good. Like I think, because again, like when it happens this fast, you don't know if it's a good shot.
Yeah.
And seeing the footage, I'm like, I do think it's good. And at this point, it's been 4.5 hours. I'm like, this deer's dead. Like I am more than confident that this deer's dead. So I'm like, great. I called my wife and said, honey, I'm picking up you and the kids. We're going to get Dave. Like pulling my daughter out of school.
Full confidence.
Like I did feel confident. Like after like really zooming in and watching the footage, I'm like, it's got to have a good exit. I was thinking that it hit like it came out right behind the opposite front shoulder. So I'm like, I got lungs. Like this deer's like.
Yeah, passed through him.
So we're good. I had a lot of confidence. So I'm like, by the time I go pick up my girls, get them all wrangled together, get their boots ready to go in the field. Cause I really like, and this is what I really reflect on this entire saga of Dave. After I shot him, I did not care as much that I finally shot Dave. I was so freaking excited to get my family out in the woods with me to like experience go recover Dave. Like again, like I truly mean this when I say my whole battle of Dave, it was gone out the window. And what I was more excited about was getting my daughter, because my daughter is the one who named him.
Yeah.
I would show her pictures every time I got a picture of Dave. She's like, is that Dave? Why aren't you shooting Dave? And like every time I went honey, I'm like, honey, I'm going after Dave. Like, very invested with me. So I'm like, I just, whether she's 5, she doesn't realize what this means or anything like that. But like, I want her a part of this to at least see the excitement that I get out of this. So Adam jumps in the truck with me. I'm calling the school. Like, I don't know how to pull my daughter out of school. This is her first year in preschool. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, I'm calling the school and they're not picking up. I'm like, I feel like someone has to be in the office at all times. Why are they not answering? I left 2 voicemails. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I'm showing up. I'm coming in hot. Like I'm pulling my daughter out of school. So I walk in to the office and she's like, oh, are you here? I'm like, yeah. Why don't you call me back? I'm like, can I do this? Or actually, I don't know. I'm doing this. Like, how do I get my daughter out? She's like, oh, I'll call the teacher. She was out in recess. It turned into this whole process of getting her out. Takes forever. Finally get her. My wife. Bless my wife's heart. She won't listen to this, so I don't care. She was out. She had a PTO day that day. And she was out like getting errands done. And at first I was like, pick up the girls and meet me at my parents. She's like, this is my one day that I get to go and do stuff. Like, no. I'm like, come on. She's like, I took PTO to get this stuff done. I'm like, I hear you, but I don't understand. So I'm like, you get your stuff done fast and just meet me. I'll drive back up to my house 25 minutes away, pick up the girls, come meet me at my parents'. So I go up, we go do the whole thing, get the girls, I get all their tracking boots, get boots, because I know my wife is not wearing boots to walk out in nature. Bring that all to my parents. We load up in the side-by-side, and that's just where, like, I will reflect on this moment again for the rest of my life. Like I finally, like raising my children, I've always looked forward to that moment that they're out there and they're tracking a deer. And even like I'm still looking forward to their first deer, if bless my heart, if they ever
want to go
hunting.
Yeah.
But like to have them out there, I'm like, we're whispering, like my oldest, she's like, I told her, I'm like, all right, look on the ground for blood. Like, this is what you do. This is what we're looking for. I'm carrying my youngest because she's like, why are we walking through all this brush? Like, I can't step over this. There's prickers that are over my head. Like, what are we doing? And so, like, I'm carrying her and I'm trying to, like, do the experience was just, it was honestly the coolest thing in my entire hunting lifetime. That was by far my favorite moment ever. It's just that experience, and to share that with my entire family, like bring my super pregnant wife out into the woods
who wants to be there so bad.
Bless her heart. Like she knows how much this deer meant to me. And like, I mean, at the end of the day, a deer's a deer to her, and she doesn't understand how much this deer means to me. But like, bless her heart, she came out with the girls. She's like 1 month from popping a new baby out and like not comfortable. She's not a comfortable human right now. She's out there with me, and like everybody was smiling, and we hit blood. Actually, I couldn't find where the cornfield that he ran into. I couldn't find like where he crossed it first. I'm like, we had to have passed it. Like, this is where he had to have came into it, because I just brought them right down the edge of the corn instead of going through all that. Yeah, I'm like, I'll pick up the blood on the edge of the corn. So I actually ran ahead, found where Dave was, and started backtracking, and then brought my daughter over there. I was like, all right, like, find blood. Like, let's see if you can track him. And she like actually did, like, surprisingly. Like a few times you had to be like, hey, everybody look down by your foot.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh yeah, I saw that one, and kept walking. And I remember we were probably less than 10 yards, and Dave, I mean, just a big bodied deer's laying in this cornfield, and it's on the edge of the cornfield. It's like where the corn doesn't really grow that great. It's all picked over. Like, he's like standing out like a sore thumb, and she's like looking down at the ground. He's laying at 10 yards from him. I'm like, Everly, look up. And she looks up, and she just goes, she doesn't say anything. She's just sitting there going, I'm like, Everly, that's Dave. And she like looks up at me, and she's like, I'm like, go get him. And so, yeah, from there on, it was just excitement, and it was great.
So good.
It was great.
I can just really resonate, because it was really weird for me, because my boys are a little bit older, but I can honestly say I desired that track for so many years, and I still like haven't completed it. I got like, so not with everybody, because you were with me with the deer this year. Last year I had the same thing with that same son, because he was out of school and blah blah blah, and I didn't go get my kids out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we have, every time I've gotten the whole group together, we don't recover that deer. And so it turns into this whole saga thing. And it's been like this whole thing where I'm like, now my wife would be like, Elizabeth would be like, we're not all going. Like, well, I can't handle you in there in that situation when you start to lose blood and all that stuff. It's not good. And like, she's like, we're not all
yelling
going.
at the kids.
And they lose interest because they haven't found blood anymore. And so they don't care anymore. And like, I'm just like dying. And so so I'm just super thankful for you that you guys got to go do that, and that's super fun. And
yeah, it definitely happened earlier in their life than I would have guessed it would have. But like, I pray that I have endless amounts of those moments to come. Like, cause again, like what I like really reflect on this deer is like the only way to describe it is like, I feel like I over obsessed over this deer. Like, it consumed 80% of my thoughts for the entire season. And like when you think about that, it's truly like taking away the moments that you're supposed to like be offering your family and like your kids. And like, I can tell you how many times like we've been playing in the basement. I'm supposed to be playing Barbies, and my phone's going off. I'm just looking at the cameras. I'm like, the day is going to daylight.
But see, Lee, that's what is so cool about this is that as we reflect and examine our own hearts and we look at that, it's like, are we going to make a change for the future? Or are we going to just realize that it's wrong or that we should make a change? But it's like, all right, can we properly place Dave's in our heart? You know, like my boys right now, you can go run in the house and ask them what deer that I wanted to kill and didn't. And I would be shocked. I would be shocked if the oldest two didn't tell you LT9. That was a 7.5-year-old deer in Michigan that I hunted for years. Never got him. Still to this day, don't know what happened to that deer. He was a behemoth. I've only saw him a few times. But I talked about LT9 forever. Like, I still have pictures of that deer on my phone. You know?
On the wall. Right next to the bed.
But I get it. Like, I obsessed with that deer. And I didn't get him. And I don't know who did. I don't know if he's dead somewhere in the swamp. You know, I still wonder. But I didn't learn from that deer. It took a couple more years for me to learn that I wanted to be present and put the phone down and not be looking at pictures all the time. When I'm in the moments, be in the moments with the family. And that's what Everland Outdoors is all about, is trying to be Christ-focused. That first, then your wife, then your kids, then your hunting, then our work, all the things, all that is on that outside ring and keeping it in that perspective. So
yeah, I really hope. I'm not saying the next big deer that I get on camera, like I won't get obsessive about it. But that's, I think, the biggest takeaway from Dave is he brought that to light in my life. Of like, it's just a deer.
Yeah.
It, like, again, as soon as I actually released that arrow, it wasn't important to me anymore. Like, it's honestly like my prayers of like getting Dave, and God probably only answered them to make me realize you let go of this and look how good your life is. Look how much, like, don't get me wrong. I'll love hunting. I'll always love hunting, and I will always appreciate every moment in the woods. But there's so much better things in life that you can consume your time with and that are more important.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. For sure. And I would say that is the reason that you have, and like we were talking about before, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. This is part of your testimony to shape you and mold you into the man that God wants you to be. And he uses trials, he uses success, he uses all of those things. And are we willing to take the molding? Most of the time, when I start to get molded, I don't realize what's happening. And I'm like, ooh, Lord, that kind of hurts when you're massaging me that way. Could you stop? Could you stop? And then my prayers are all about getting me out of the molding that's taking place. But when I actually stop and I'm going to say, Lord, thank you for this molding, because I now see that you're doing a work in me. And that's where, like James says, you know, we consider it pure joy when we face various trials, because we know going through those trials produces all of the fruit after that. Like when gold goes through the fire, it has to burn off all the dross, and then it becomes the refined gold, the pure gold. And that's what God's doing through all of our lives on a regular basis. So I just find it really cool, brother, that you can share that testimony and you see that in the success and say, it's just deer.
It's just
love
a deer.
It. So much fun.
Yeah.
Family gets to enjoy it. God gets the glory, and he's awesome.
And he's gonna be a head mount right next to the bed, so my wife can continue to enjoy.
Oh, right over the top. Right over the top. Center him. You gotta center him.
All right, I got one more thing to add to this.
Yes.
And I honestly, like, I don't know how to process it in my head. So again, year 1 of hunting Dave, he was shot. When I caped this deer out, there was no evidence, sign of anything shoulder. So I'm like, is this the same deer from last year? So the reason I thought that this was the same deer is because, like, that side is very, like, resembles the deer that I was hunting last year. And I assumed this side got funky and short and like the shorter tines and everything because of the opposite side of the shoulder shot, which made sense. But when I caped him out, I could not, like, I tried just for the story's sake of saying I hunted this deer for 2 years. I could not find a shoulder.
Yeah, this
injury.
is a Michigan 3.5-year-old, so it's not just not so.
Yeah, so like honestly, like, but like, I mean, I don't know. Like at this point, like, I mean, well, obviously, I would if it was a deer from last year that was shoulder shot, I would have saw something. There would be like, I would think that there would be like on the Cape, like
I don't know. I'm not a deer skinner expert, and like I've not gone through a ton of hides and all that kind of stuff. So like, I've definitely seen additional wounds on deer, right? But.
Yeah, it's just the only reason that's so surprising
to me. Or did that guy
me.
not hit the deer well at all? Like glanced one off it where it just scratched him. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
And so
I don't know, but the only reason that like it would surprise me so much, because if it was a different deer, it's just because like historically in the area, like I've been doing a lot of habitat stuff to my dad's property, which I think has definitely enhanced it.
Yeah.
But like to have, it's just completely, it's not common to have two mature deer back-to-back years, let alone, well, technically 3 years in a row in that area. Like my entire life, I've been hunting this piece since I was 11 years old. There has never been, it's very, very rare.
Yeah, but you have a lot of variables with that though, Lee, where I think like, that farmer, they change over. There's a different guy bow hunting in there who's able to kill stuff. All that,
But you hear, like, I still heard it, but you
just
like,
weren't.
You hear about everything that gets shot around there. I'm just saying, like, in this area, big deer don't get this old majority of the time. And like, again, it's Michigan.
And that's where I see most Michigan deer that do get this big and this old have been hit. LT9 got hit 2 years in a row with a 30-06. Two different guys hit that deer with a 30-06. Watched it go down, and they high spined him, and he got up and ran away. 2 years in a row, that deer. And so, like, he doesn't get through unless he's gotten hit. So my guess, my gut feel,
just by the way his antlers,
based on what you're saying, is that this is probably that deer. It's more or less like, I think that they heal up far greater than especially if it is just a shoulder wound like that. But maybe there's a hide person or a deer skinner guy that will tell me in the comments that, Jay, you're dead wrong. If he got hit before, you would 100% know. I don't know. I would like to hear from somebody 100%. If they actually know that, a flesh wound will heal completely over and you might not see it,
Yeah, it's honestly at the end of the day, again, like this deer's made me realize that none of that
it's
matters.
Dave because Dave got named this year.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So it is Dave. I just don't know if Dave's the same Dave
from last year.
Yeah, so again, like
it's an awesome story. It's super cool. It's so great that, the bigger story, the bigger lesson has been learned and we get to share it together. And and that is a meaty meatball. I called him that, and he said, "Don't compliment him." So now I can give him the compliment because he's dead. Because this is a meaty.
Just the deer's
meatball.
body. I still keep kicking myself for not actually weighing him, but like before rut, I truly have never seen. I'll play through this. I'll show trail camera videos, or I'll just throw it on the screen right now.
Yeah,
this deer was a meatball, like just a behemoth of a body. Like a true representation of what a 5-year-old deer like look. I mean, again, I should actually send the teeth in because if it's not him, it's not. I'm not for sure he's 5. If it is the same deer, I know he's 5. If it's not the same deer, it's obviously at least a 4-year-old. But judging by his body, I'm still saying 5.
Yeah.
But like, big deer, and like, but you could tell like when I walked up to him, like, dude has lost some weight. Like he has run down a course. Like, if you've been following this, you know that he's just been running rampant. Like,
this deer did more marathons than any other deer. Like, I can't believe he's ran as much as he did.
Yeah.
Like, it just praise God that you had the, almost 200 acres to hunt him on because he was going to the neighbors if it wasn't.
And it's funny. After I killed him, like all the neighbors, like, so they actually all showed up at my dad's to come look at him and stuff. And like, I think this is the perfect, like, to reflect on the season as a whole, and this was what truly makes me believe in this, is like the entire season they got one daylight picture of this deer. One daylight. So that just goes to show, if you hunt the farm properly, Like these deer can feel safe and can become like it's
100%.
This is a true testament of it.
Create the illusion that they're not being hunted. And I will say this too, though. Know and respect a core deer versus a non-core deer, and know that this deer was a core deer on the property.
Yes.
And so take that information as when you do have the 1-2 nighttime picture of that deer, don't throw your whole hunt season on that deer. Know that that is not a core deer. And especially if you got a big food plot program and you got a small piece of timber, you got a small piece of property, a 20 or 40 or whatever, know when the right time to go hunt that deer and when isn't. And if he's just coming in at 2 a.m, it's not, and you're hunting that property, right? It's not because he's nocturnal. It's because he's coming from a long ways away.
Yep.
And so then start to back out and say, here's his bedding area. So you can start to play and say, when's the right time to be in there to make that move? That's crucial. But he was a core deer. You had to, we both said you had to kill him. I was thinking you're going to kill him before the 7th, but because that was getting a little nerve-wracking because he was, this week, he gone.
Yes.
He was going to start going to those guys, and they was going to daylight, and they were going to get more than one daylight picture of it, and maybe somebody else is going to get in.
Yeah, I honestly think the reason he stuck around is because when I hunted, the whole mindset of me hunting this deer is like, how can I hunt him, put myself in a position to kill him, and him never to cross my boot tracks. That was my goal the whole time. Obviously not the morning that I killed him. I had to walk a long ways through that farm to get to where I wanted hunted.
Sure.
It was obviously a method behind that approach, but like that was a day that you take the chance to do that. And it obviously it worked out.
Paid off. Awesome.
To Dave and this weekend is opening of gun. You're headed to up north, not the UP, up north.
Yeah. Northern Michigan. Got a good group of guys headed up there. It's a piece of public / private that's that we get to hunt, bounce around in. Not managed.
You're going there for deer camp.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So not likely I will pull the trigger.
You say that now.
You know, it's for me to end my season, dude, in Michigan. I got a 5.5-year-old buck on that 40. So I'd like to kill him. I don't really want to kill him with a gun. I will. Probably gonna. Probably gonna like
Sunday.
So, yeah. I'm going to deer camp for like 2 nights. So I'm going Friday, Saturday, hunt Saturday, Sunday morning. And I told my youngest, he turns 5 next week. So I kind of wanted to kill him on his birthday because it's the 19th.
That's cool. But then you have to bring the whole family out. Maybe this is the time that you can get the whole family
We'll
out.
See, what happens is I'm not patient. And if I drop him with a gun, I just go run out there and grab the buck. So like...
definitely me thinking I got... so I didn't even tell you that, like, last thing. Praise, like, huge shout out to Rec Broadheads. It's another Michigan company. But, like, 25 yards, that arrow went in directly in front of his back leg, and it completely exited, blew through him. Arrow was in the dirt. It came out in his brisket.
Came out in front of the shoulder?
In front of the shoulder.
Wow. It went all the way through him.
Literally all the way through the deer. The only thing that it did not touch is the actual butthole.
Wow.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I am shooting a heavier arrow set up with higher poundage bow, but like that's impressive. I don't think an expandable would have done that.
Oh no. I mean, that expandable I shot in the one this year's neck, it didn't even make it through the diaphragm.
Yeah.
You know, so that expandable that didn't go in very far.
Yeah. And I was really impressed. Like the reason I think I switched from fixed is because like I want giant blood trails and like that forgiveness. If you do hit it a little bit bad, it gives you an inch forgiveness either way. But like, man, I am a true believer in that. Like,
I ordered a pack of those Bomar Beast because I saw my brother's elk, I saw my nephew's whitetail, I saw a few things this year, and I was like, I was running out of rages. I had like a case of the rages, you know, and
from 2012.
And so those have come. No, they were the no cams, and so they weren't that old. But like you know, you bought them in bulk at the end of the season when Dunham's had them on sale or something, right? And so, but I was running out of those and realizing that, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, I got all these like. I had like elk hunting. I use a fixed blade and stuff, or I was a 2-blade and all that with bleeders. And long story, but I'm really excited to launch one of these beasts.
I'm excited because I've heard really good stuff about them.
Yeah. But they're reckless though, dude. Like I had one open.
Oh, you got them?
Yeah. Oh, so I was loaded with Illinois with these suckers. Oh. So the first set
that's pretty fast shipping.
Yeah, first set I get in Illinois, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
let me see the finger.
I didn't get cut. But they come with a Kevlar fingertips, so you can load them because they're spring loaded, and you have to pinch them shut, and you have to touch the blade.
So what triggers the spring? What triggers them to expand? Is it
it's
tip?
It's very similar to the Rage type. It's got the two little prongs, but you hit one of those, and it's going, and it opens at 100 miles an hour, something like that.
Have you had it open in your quiver? Okay.
So I get into this pop-up blind situation. Never been there. Illinois, my buddy. Shout out to Cal. Awesome. But I get into this blind, and I'm like, he set this thing up in the middle of summer, and it's all cattywampus because it's a middle of summer setup. No one's
he was sweating. He
just throwing up this tent for me and stuff like that. He's telling me. Long story short, the blind is actually twisted, and so where I need to be able to see, there's no windows in that blind on that side because that's the door side. And so it was easy to get in, but it needs to be twisted so I can see. So I get this thing and I'm like, dude, I'm still not even going to be able to draw back in here. So I draw back and I go to let down. And when I let down, I just like jerked forward. Broadhead hits the side of the blind and opens up.
You put a sunlight in the blind.
Just slammed a hole in the blind.
So they're sharp.
They're super sharp, and they open instantly. Well, you can't close them without the Kevlar things. Oh. So now I got this sucker open, and I don't know what to do with it. So, yeah.
So is that broadhead still in that blind, or did you?
No, I put it back in my quiver.
Couldn't take your shirt and could you take your shirt and like squeeze it, or like is it that sharp that it's gonna cut your shirt?
Yeah, it's gonna cut your gloves. Like
That's impressive.
I was looking at my gloves and stuff like that. I was like, I think I might be able to do this, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to cut myself, and so it'll give you a Band-Aid in the the beast Band-Aid comes with the broadheads.
Great marketing.
Yes,
good job, Josh.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
yeah. So it comes with these little tips. I'm ready to launch one. I was thinking about shooting a donkey. We should probably run out back and just go shoot a donkey. With one of them and see what happens.
Yeah. Like I'm curious because right now my whole headspace is like, I am like, again, shout out to Rec, Michigan company. Like,
awesome.
If you were ever curious about their fixed blade, if it's the FX4, it's a 2-blade with a 2-blade bleeder.
Nice.
I was skeptical. I'll be honest with you. I saw him at a show and like I kind of like know him through people.
Sure.
I was like, oh, you're a Michigan company and I know you. Like, I'll buy a package of broadheads. Like, I'll shoot some does late season with them to try them out. I'm a believer, man. Awesome. It turned like it went through a 5-year-old deer's body at 25 yards, the entire length of the body, and stuck in the dirt.
Well, when you said you found the arrow, like I was like, Lee. When you were telling me the story, I didn't realize until later that it was a pass through. Because when you were telling me that, I'm like, when you said he found the arrow, I was like, you stuck that what I saw on the screen, and then if I found my arrow, I would never have assumed it passed through. I would have assumed it backed out, and I'm like, I ain't going after that deer for a while. Mm-hmm. But then when I figured out it was a pass through, and how you're saying it was covered in blood and whatever, I was like, man.
That's what when I watch the footage, I'm like, man, like. I was thinking it came out like just directly behind the opposite shoulder, the front shoulder.
The fact that it went through in front of it, I mean, that deer is dead no matter what.
Oh, the heart, like right through the heart, through the lung, like everything. Got everything.
Yeah. Well, that's sweet. Awesome. Great stuff. Well, let's get off to deer camp. We'll see what happens. You're off to Kansas.
I'm
that's
off to Kansas.
Super big stories.
Lots of stories from that. It's just, again, I'm going there as deer camp with the boys.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Good deal.
Appreciate you guys listening. Yes. If you do like any of this stuff that we ramble on, just like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, social media, Everland Outdoors. We appreciate everybody.
Yes. Awesome.